Hello, everybody. So I am working on a project today, and earlier today I was talking to Donna and Paula, and I was telling them how I make my own pesticide to try to keep squirrels from eating my pears on my pear tree. And I told them I would let them know how to do it. So anyway, it starts off this is actually 2021. I canned some habanero peppers, and it works wonderful. You use it like in a garden spray container. And what I do is I start out with 20 habaneros in a jar. I actually did can these, and you fill it up with water. It's not quite full, but anyway, the first step is you puree that. So I have done that over here. Pureed that. And the next step is I'm going to have to strain it. So I'm going to pause and do that, and then I'll come back. So I'm back. So straining all of the particulate in there is very important, because if you're going to use a garden sprayer, if you have particulate in it, it's going to clog up your sprayer and it's not going to work. So I have purchased these little, I don't know if you can see them very well, but they are awesome. It came as a set of 3. I can send you the link. There's a small, medium, and large size. So I just put this over a bowl like this. And you just want to make sure that it's secure so it'll kind of dip down. And then we're going to pour that in there. So we're going to pause for a minute. Okay, before we get started with pouring and straining all of this pulp out of here, let me just say this is habanero. So you can wear gloves. I've kind of done this enough to where I don't wear gloves, but what you don't want to do is get any on your hands and then scratch your eyes, because that would burn really bad. So you just have to make sure that you're paying attention that what you're doing with your hands, and wash your hands very frequently. And then make sure that when you're pouring things, it's not splashing up in your face, because, you know, that could be really bad. But anyway, so we're just going to pour this like this. We're going to pour all of it like that. I don't know if you can see that. Hope you can. And usually what I do is I'll get like a whisk, and hopefully you can see it's already starting to strain, but I'm just going to very gently stir this, and this is just time consuming, but it is worth it, and you know, it'll work. So I'm going to pause for a few minutes while I get this strained, and like I said, you just kind of gently stir it around, and as the liquid comes through, you just want to strain it, all of the liquid, and throw out the pulp. So, all right, I'll be back in a minute. So as I'm continuing to strain this habanero juice, I just wanted to say, if you are not going to do this as frequently as what I am, you could also use cheesecloth. I used cheesecloth for a long time, and I just got tired of having to, you know, buy another pack every garden season. I'd have to go through like 4 or 5 packs of cheesecloth. So I went on to Amazon, and I found this set of 3, and it works wonderful. If you do decide to use cheesecloth, you'll need to maybe strain it a few times. You just have to strain it until all you have left is just pure liquid, with no pulp, no particulate, or anything like that. This is where I'm at so far. You'll see it just starts to get thicker and thicker. Not done yet, though. I'm going to strain every bit of that hot liquid in there. Excuse the look. This is my garden look. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I think we're there. When you get all the liquid out, you'll notice it's real pasty. So that's what you're looking for. And then what you'll do is very carefully dispose of that. I wouldn't suggest putting it in a garbage disposal, because if you do and you turn it on, even with the water on, it could splash up and get in your face. I will probably put this in a bag, a little baggie or something, and throw it in the garbage. So anyway, while I do that, I'll be right back. Hello again. So another little tip for you, I'm all about not wasting. And so when I have little baggies that do not get very soiled, instead of throwing them away, I have what I call a bag of bags. So here's my bag of bags. I have a great big old bag. And I have, you know, sometimes you just put bread in a baggie, and instead of like throwing it away, I put it in my bag of bags. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my little already used bag that I didn't dispose, and I'm going to put the pulp in there and throw it away and keep it nice and safe. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, so this is what we're left with. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm terrible with videoing. There we go. Anyway, it is very clear, and so what I will do with that now is get an old milk jug. I actually have one that I use every year. Or either you can just pour it right into your 1 gallon sprayer, your garden sprayer, 1 gallon. So what you would do is pour what you have in the bowl into your sprayer, and then you would finish filling it up with water, and that would be the perfect concentrate to start spraying all over your vegetables or fruit. So today I'm going to spray it on my pear trees, on my raspberry bushes, on my blueberry bushes. What else? I have a blackberry bush. It's probably not going to produce this year, but anything that's fruit, vegetables that the deer would want to eat, squirrels would want to eat, even aphids, pretty much any pest. And what it will do is give them a little zing zing. And of course, they're not going to want to come back. They're going to be looking for water. So anyway, so once I get all that put together, I will show you the finished product. Anyway, thanks for listening. One last very important thing is make sure you wash your hands very, very good. I mean, like scrub your fingernails. Just really wash your hands probably 3 times to make sure that you don't have any residue on your hands, because if you scratch your eyes or anything like that, it could burn pretty bad. So, or you could use gloves. That would probably be the better idea, but anyway, I hate gloves, so alrighty, I'll be back. Hello again. So lastly, I would normally just put it, let me turn it around. I would normally just put it in my little garden sprayer. This is a gallon sprayer. I would just pour the liquid in there first, and then I would finish filling it up to the gallon mark with water, and kind of slosh it around a little bit after you get everything closed up and tightened up. But I already have some in there, so I'm going to make it in here. So again, if you decide to use a jug like that, just make sure that you label it with a permanent marker, so that, you know, nobody comes behind you and thinks it's something that it's not. So anyway, and I'll change the date on here, but as you can see, I wrote habanero pepper spray solution. So I'll go ahead and pour what I made today in here, finish filling it up with water. So when I finish with this, I have a refill good and ready. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I'm in the garden shed right now. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. And if you have any questions, you know where I'm at. So happy gardening. Take care. Bye-bye.